What's good, y'all? We're back. It's 2025, man, and honestly, I'm ready for this year. I feel pumped. I'm excited, and I just know that it's going to be a year of consistency, a year of getting in the nitty-gritty, knowing what you have to do, because last year was more of like, yeah, I figured out my strategy, I figured out how to use it, and I started using it for a bit, and I was consistent for a bit. And now this year, I know what to do to be consistent. I have the mindset to be consistent. So I'm ready. I'm literally ready, y'all. So here's my philosophy, which is basically instead of having the goal to get funded, instead of having the goal to make X amount of money or whatever the case may be, my goal is to really do what's going to get me there. And I feel like I've talked about this before, but this time it's a bit different because I'm going to do things that I wasn't really doing last year, which is one, having a nighttime routine, which is so important because your night is going to play a big role in how you're going to wake up the next day. And I realized that just these past couple weeks because I've had a couple days where I wouldn't go on my phone a couple hours before bed or just wouldn't eat and just would be off electronics like completely. And I'll go to sleep, say around 1 o'clock, and I wake up around 6, which is a five hours of sleep. And I feel great. I feel great. So, one second. So, like I was saying, I ended up having like 5 hours of sleep. But since I was not on my phone or, having less electronics at night, I woke up feeling rejuvenated, even though I only had 5 hours of sleep. So I'm like, this is something right here. This could really help. So that's going to be it, making my nighttime routine because I struggle with getting up in the morning. I do. I struggle with getting up, getting out of bed. Right now it's 9 a.m. But I really do just struggle getting out of bed. And I think part of that is because I'll be in bed like on my phone before I go to sleep and not really take time to wind down. So just having that nighttime routine where I'm planning for the next day and not being on my phone like an hour or two before I go to sleep and, making sure I don't eat a big old meal, that's going to help me a lot. And I'm making sure that I do that because the goal is to be up daily. But I need to make sure that I have this nighttime routine. So that's the real goal. The real goal is to be consistent with this nighttime routine, and then being up daily is just going to be clockwork, bro. It's going to be clockwork. So, yeah. And along with that, I'm also making sure that I stay up until 11 a.m. because the trading hours are from like 7 to 11 for me. And even if it's not a trading day, I need to make sure I'm up because that just has to be the norm. My cat just keeps on coming in and out, but yeah, that just has to be the norm, literally. So that's that. And then the next thing is having a trading model, not just with my strategy, which I already have, but the mental model, y'all. The mental model is so important. Shout out Belasian. He was the one, I was watching his video and he ended up talking about it and he said somebody else talked about it. And I'm just like, yo, bro, they wilding right now. But yeah, the mental model is so important, y'all, because when you're trading, it's barely strategy. It's barely your strategy. You're waiting most of the time. I say around 90% of the time you're waiting, and 10% of the time you're executing. Maybe even less than that you're executing. You know what I mean? So it's really important to focus on that 90%, which is the psychological part of you waiting and waiting and waiting. And then once you're in that trade, you are ready because you just prepared yourself. It takes no talent to prepare yourself to trade. It takes no talent. You know what I'm saying? You just have to make sure that you prepare, actually. So if you consistently do that with your mental model, which is journaling, reviewing your trading plan. You know what I mean? Doing stuff like this that may be overlooked, but doing that daily and watching psychology videos and making sure that you keep good quotes in your mind, like less is more. And if it doesn't go with my plan, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Stuff like that. If you just have that in mind, then you're going to be good. Like, you're going to be good for real. So I am making sure that I implement that into my life just every day. I literally have this Notion section where I'm journaling my trading every day. Even if it's not a trading day, I'm journaling because it's no days off with that stuff. Because I'm waiting most of the time. You're waiting to take a trade. So while you're waiting, you're really preparing yourself mentally. So I am making sure that I prepare myself mentally all the time. And I realized during my few weeks of like being consistent, I wasn't even doing that all the way. Like, I'll maybe do it for like a week where I'm like, yeah, we followed the plan, we good. All right, let's make sure we keep following the plan. But then you lose a trade and then you're like, ooh, okay, now you're starting to slip up. Like, where do you go wrong? You know what I mean? And when you journal, you can see where you went wrong. Like, I'm not even gonna be surprised if I end up making a mistake or something like that, you know? Like, that's life. But at least I'll be journaling and I'm making sure that I have a nighttime routine. I'm setting myself up to accomplish my goals instead of just being like, yeah, I gotta accomplish these goals. I'm setting myself up in the best way possible. And I'm focusing more on the 90%, which is the waiting, the psychological aspect, instead of the 10%, which is the strategy and, executing. Because I have my strategy, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I just know it to a T, but I low-key got it down. Like, I've definitely tweaked the strategy to my liking. I treat Doyle's strategy to my liking over like the past year and a half. Or yeah, honestly, I have. Like, I really just started tweaking it last year, which is 2024. It's a new year, man. But yeah, I tweaked it and now I am feeling way more comfortable with it. But I just have to make sure that I stay comfortable because trading is such a mental game. And if I'm not on top of it, I'm not gonna make any money. Simple as that. So 2025, we're focusing on what's gonna get us there. Those are the main goals. Of course, you want to get funded. Of course, you want to get payouts. But what is gonna get us there? That's what's most important. So I will keep you guys updated and just make sure that you guys also ask yourself more questions about yourself. Keep learning about yourself because you want to know why. Like, why are you hesitating in a trade? Like, why are you hesitating to take a trade? Why are you letting your emotions get the best of you? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you getting distracted? So that's really it. And one more reason that I want to focus more on the 90% instead of the strategy is because you can have any strategy, guys. You can have any strategy. You can make any strategy work if you focus on that 90%. If you focus on your mental and how you are going to react in the trade and how you are managing your emotions, because you're going to have emotions. We're humans. You're going to have emotions. You're not going to be a robot. Trust me. But it's really about making sure that you learn how to accept these emotions and just let them pass by without them affecting your trading. So that's that. And I will see you guys. I hope you guys all have a great new year. 2025, we are going to be great with trading. We are going to put our best foot forward every single day. Take the dollar every day. Take that step every day. Build a brick every day, whatever the case may be. And you're going to look up one day and be like, wow, I'm here. Like, it's crazy, man.